Wonderful good day, ladies and gentlemen. Precious Metal Fair 2014, and with me here is now, not gold, not silver, even if it's a precious metal fair, but now we talk about tungsten. And we have here Blackheath Resources, you know, the fantastic company out of Canada, working in Portugal, and I've been at the site here. And now we want to talk to Jim Robertson, who's the CEO of the company. Jim, thanks for taking the time.
Well, thank you, Joachim. Pleasure.
It is a pleasure always for me to talk to you, and as I said, I was there in May with you. We did a wonderful site visit. I was very impressed what I saw, and you did quite afterwards a race. You raised some money, and what have you done with the money?
Well, we've certainly been very active since you were last to the property, Joachim. We have actually almost completed 2 drill programs. One at our Kovac property, and that's the property that has almost 1 million tons at 0.78% tungsten at historic information, not 43101.
It was the one from Union Carbide, right?
Yes, exactly. So that project, we have just completed a drilling program. All of that core is now in for assay, so we expect in the next few weeks we will be able to release assay results from Kovas. We have also been drilling though at our Baralia project, and if you recall, the Baralia project was a very large tonnage breccia at surface, potentially an open pit situation.
There was an old open pit there. There was the one where we were down in the open pit and you did the trench.
That's quite correct. Yes, there are 2 shallow open pit areas. They have not been fully excavated by any means, and we did some trenching, and we got very exciting trench results from our work right at surface. So that gave us the encouragement to go into the drilling program, and we are just in the final stages now of completing that drill program. We released only one result. The very first hole that we released was, if I can recall, I think it was 62 meters at 0.18% WO3, which is a nice grade to have open pits.
Can you put this in a comparison, because I think 0.18% sounds like nothing, but if you compare it to copper, for example, or something.
Well, the typical figure that we sort of see for comparison with copper would be you'd multiply the tungsten percentage by 5 to get copper. So it's roughly equivalent to a percent.
Wow. And it's open pitable, so that's fantastic.
And it's open pit, So that would be that's very nice material to have. So we've now almost completed the rest of that program. When we get all those results back, we will release them as a whole suite of assay results.
Fantastic. Can you maybe comment a little bit on the drills which you have done so far? We know you will release in some weeks the results, but were you satisfied what you saw so far from the core? I know you can't say anything about the grades.
Well, we can't, because in most cases we don't have those grades anyway yet. So, but we're certainly being encouraged by what we see. At Kovas, we have the tungsten mineral scheelite, and that is very apparent. You can see it very easily under an ultraviolet light. So that is something that obviously we've been inspecting the core. And then at Baralia, it's wolframite, which is a black crystalline mineral, and that is more disseminated, not necessarily quite so easy to see. But certainly what we have found in the dimensions of the breccia size has been very encouraging. And in fact, it looks as though it's probably larger and wider than we thought originally. But we'll know more when we get all the results back and make a proper assessment. We probably will need to go into another program at Baralia in the spring, so we will be drilling more in the spring.
Great. So that means in December the news flow will start?
I think we'll probably have news from our Kovas results by December, early December, I hope. If not then certainly early in the new year. But I would think that end of November, early December would probably be the earliest for Kovas. And then that will be followed a little bit later after we've got all the Baralia drilling and have those results that come through.
Okay, so that leads to my next question. 2015, what do you want to drill? What do you want to achieve?
Well, I think 2015, we would like to be able to convert our historic resource estimate at Kovas. We'd like to be able to convert that into a 43101 compliant estimate. And we certainly will be working towards that and trying to do that as rapidly as possible after we've got these drill results. So we'd like to be doing that and make an assessment of further progress at Kovas Jag is very interesting. Apart from the hard rock potential, we have a superficial gravel material, an alluvial material, and there's a historic resource there of tin and tungsten. So it's not just a tungsten project, it's a tin tungsten project. And that material is sitting right on surface. The work that was done by a California engineer some time ago certainly indicated that there was tin and tungsten to a value of maybe $50, $60, $70 a ton, and there was perhaps $500 million worth of metal sitting on surface.
Start the mine immediately.
Well, we'd love to be able to do that, Jochen, and it's certainly something that if we can demonstrate that and demonstrate the historic numbers that are there and put that into production, potentially it could be quite quick. And it could also be a very limited capital expenditure. It would not be
below the 100 million easily.
Oh, I would say more in the region of the 10, 15 million.
Oh, really?
Something of that order. I mean, I'm talking order of magnitude rather than
of course.
but not 100 million.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. So when we are... Great. Hopefully you have some nice surprises for us too. So let's talk about money. We are already talking about money because when you said you want to drill also next year, you want to bring the 43-101, this costs all money. Do you have the money already or do you need to raise maybe a little bit more?
Well, we do have funds. We have obviously been going through 2 drill programs through the summer, so that does take money. And so after our last raise, we have probably, I think we're around $500,000, approaching $500,000 left in the treasury. Still small costs, of course, ongoing for drilling. We will need more money next year for drilling and further exploration. And I think at that point, we hope that before Christmas, actually, we will have some very good news for our shareholders that will be quite exciting in the way of how we're going to fund our future projects.
Hey, so, okay, now you make me really curious here.
Well, don't be too curious, but
I like it.
we have, in a difficult market, we have certainly some positive interest. As you know, we have some interest from China in our company, and we have Chinese shareholders, and they have been very supportive.
Yeah, and also, I mean, besides gold and silver, the dramatic fall we had the last weeks and months, I think tungsten really held up nicely at a record level, like $38,000 a ton, I think, roughly about, and also tin is into a deficit now and also rising, so you are really in the right metals.
Well, we think so. We're in a bit of a niche market, if you like. We're not in gold. Not so many people know much about tungsten. A few more people know more about tin. But certainly prices have been very strong. Tungsten price has been pretty solid for the last 6 months. A few dollars less, perhaps. But you look at all of the independent projections, and they're all calling for 4-5% increases in 2015 and beyond. So you can actually look at a very nice price going forward. And the price right now is, I mean, it's strong. It's double what it was. You remember Primary Metals? We had a company that was very successful. And in 2007, when we sold, that tungsten price was about $20 a kilogram. It's now $35 a kilogram, and looking good.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you very much. We keep fingers crossed, and I hope that you can give us a nice Christmas parcel or present underneath the tree. I would love to, as I'm a shareholder too.
Well, absolutely, and we hope we can have some nice gifts for Christmas. But we're certainly moving forward, and I'm very happy at the progress that we're making.
Good. So let me see us probably first quarter next year. And we want to report again.
We'll see you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jochen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was Jim Robertson, the CEO of Blackheath Resources. Well, you heard it. Maybe some good news in front of Christmas. We hope it, of course, and that there will be some good financing news. But also, what is very important, the Pejanka project could be, maybe going into production in a shorter time frame and could produce significant revenues, which would fund maybe and also the rest of the project. And of course, tungsten and tin, both metals are in a deficit. Both metals are up there on real nice price levels, despite the meltdown of what we saw by gold and silver. So it's a niche market, as he said, but very interesting market, and the metal is really needed. And everybody of you has it in the pocket when you have an iPhone, because the vibration alarm in the iPhone is made out of tungsten. So check out the company. Thanks and bye-bye from Munich.